Microphone, camera, music, lights, camera, action! All right, everybody. I'm telling you what, it is Wednesday, February the 4th. It's 29 degrees here in Hampstead, and let me tell you something. It feels amazing. Amazing. I might have to take my jacket off. I haven't done it yet, but it could happen. Turning the heat down a little bit. I am thrilled with this day already, I'm telling you. All right, here we go. We have 2 deliveries today. We are going to be making 2 separate trips, though, because the donuts for our second delivery are in production at the moment. They're in production. So they will be getting some, well, they're always fresh. But they're going to be so fresh that we don't even have them yet. That's how fresh they are. Whoa, what the heck was that? Did you hear that? The brakes made a funny noise. But I feel relatively confident in their capabilities. All right, here we go. Here we go. So we're going to go to Lenny's, drop off our delivery, and then come back to the bakery, pick up What-A-Days, donuts, and other goodies, and then take that over. So it might be a little bit longer today. Closer to 2.5 hours. Maybe even longer, depending. You never know what's going to happen out here in the streets. It got yesterday, I think it was supposed to get into the lower or into the upper 30s. I don't know if we made it to the upper 30s, but we did make it above freezing. So there has been a little bit of melting, but not a lot. So, and that's sort of what I'm glad, because you can see the roads are still dry. It didn't melt so fast. There are wet spots here and there, but it's not like after a rain, which is what could have happened if all this snow kind of melted at the same time. So, we're easing into the warmer temperatures, which is good. Whoops. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the thing on. My knucklehead. All right, text-to-speech is now on. I see that there's a message there, but I didn't hear it. And now I'm driving erratically. All right. Somebody say good morning. Good morning. Mountain Man, it's Mountain Man. I know I shouldn't be looking at my phone, but I did anyway. Good morning. I didn't have my text-to-speech on, so I didn't hear when you said that. Maryland is warming up. We're still below freezing, but 29 degrees feels pretty good after the week or 2 that we've had. Just gonna follow this truck through the I've learned that I like to just follow trucks through the circles because
Teamman-Q7L says a donut would be good now. We are getting warmer too. It's okay.
Look at this truck. That's pretty funny. This car didn't want to wait. Yeah, donut would be good right now. Last night I was in Kendra's live chat or live stream, and consume the goodness for anybody that's watching this. Every Tuesday night she has a live stream, and last night it was a really, really good live stream, and they were talking at one point about carbs. and that, you know, you really don't need to eat carbs. I shouldn't be saying this in a van full of donuts, but I have to say it. So we're having this, or I'm watching the chat, and I was sort of just like laying back. I wasn't really saying anything. And I'm listening to them talk about, you know, carbs and all this stuff. And, you know, Kendra, and I'm a believer of it too, that you really don't need carbs. I mean, I think too many carbs can be an issue, and they're, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I'm sitting there thinking, I feel like a drug dealer at an NA meeting. You know what I mean? Because they're all talking about this, and I spend my whole life, not my whole life, it's not my whole life, but I spend my days driving a van full of carbs to local establishments. But it is what it is. People eat donuts, and I'm going to take advantage of that, make a living. Not really a living. We have on weekday mornings, this is the route that a lot of people from the northwestern suburbs are traveling into Baltimore to work. So, like, right now we've got this, quite a line of traffic has built up behind us already. Ahead of us looks relatively clear, but it won't be that way for long. Usually give people an opportunity to pass me in circles, but nobody did that time. Not because I drive slow, but because people see a delivery van, and they think it's going to be slow. What's going on here? What's going on? We crossed over into Baltimore County. It's going to take the snow a while to melt. I saw the roads down in North Carolina. Most of them look like they were clearing up a little bit. Unless there was shade. When you get to the roads that have shade over them, it doesn't melt so fast. This is the high deer area right here. Then this half a mile section of this road is where I see most of the deer. Yesterday, during my live stream coming back from the last delivery, I came across some deer in the road. They were crossing the road. I mean, I actually almost stopped. But I think when I went back to look at the video, like that whole section, I must have been disconnected. And I think it's because it's kind of in a, like both sides of the road slope up. So you're kind of like driving through.
Q7L says the roads are like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw them driving yesterday. They looked pretty good in most places, but But the one section yesterday where I had this great encounter with it was about 4 or 5 deer that crossed the road, like right in front of my van. And I didn't get it because it was one of those sections where the connection wasn't good. Oh well. Which means anybody watching me, I don't think I made a big deal about it though. I was trying to think. I don't think when it was like, oh, did you see those deer? I think I might have said it when they were crossing the road. But like if I continued to talk about it, anybody watching my stream would have been like, what are you talking about? Because it was that section where it buffers. It would have just been seeing my frozen scene of this, that little circle in my little screen. I might wash my car today. Thinking about it. I have to get gas, so I might just go to one of those places where I go through their car wash. Mainly because I don't think we're going to get any snow or rain for the next week or so. And I like to get the salt off my car. It's not too bad in Maryland, but I see cars come down from up north sometimes, and they're just like caked with salt. Can't be good. It can't be good for your paint job. Or anything else, actually. If you think about it, even underneath the car, it can't be good. I have to set up the live stream too for my car. I haven't done that yet. I have to get the phone holder attached to the windshield, stuff like that. It's supposed to be sunny today, so maybe if I do that, maybe I'll go out, test it out. Drive down to go around 695, which circles Baltimore, but I could go down to the section. I think there's a location, and I'm gonna have to look up to make sure it's still open, but there's sort of like a park near where that bridge collapsed a couple years ago. And so I know they're working on that. I know they tore down all the old bridge, and the pieces that had fallen into the harbor, they've pulled all that up. And I don't know if they started work on it yet, but I could check on that. That would be I think if I went out today, that might be my destination to see what's going on there. I was up until like, I think it was close to 11 o'clock last night with Kendra's live stream. And I was going to leave. I was going to go to bed earlier, but then she had an issue with the connection. Like, I think her phone died. But the stream, the live stream didn't end. So like her phone was dead, but we were still connected to the live stream. That situation, I find it very amusing. I mean, fortunately, we have a good, it could be, people could be really upset about it, but fortunately, Kendra was not. And it's just kind of funny because she's trying to pull us back. And I think she was trying to get her phone powered up and stuff. But when that happens, it's always kind of funny because I feel like we're on life support. I had this whole thing built up in my head. What are these people? Why are we? I don't know what those snowplows are doing. Yeah, I have this whole story in my head that like we're on the operating table and we're like trying to save us. And it took a while. I mean, I was surprised that it stayed connected as long as it did. And then she finally came back. But I was like, I can't leave now. I gotta wait and see if it's almost like suspenseful. We see a lot of people from Pennsylvania. These are the folks that are probably working in Baltimore, live. We're only about, the bakery that I just left from is maybe 10 or 15 miles from the Pennsylvania line. It's not that far. And so, yeah, like right now I'm surrounded by Pennsylvania people. That one, the one to my left, the one there. Yeah, everybody's from Pennsylvania. There's another one. What is going on? Does anybody live in Maryland anymore? Yeah, there we go. But there was a time, and I guess it's still the case, when people were building homes right over the Pennsylvania line because Maryland's taxes are pretty high. Our property taxes are pretty high. Well, our taxes all around are pretty high. But so there are a lot of communities like right over the state line in Pennsylvania. But if you go a little further up, not too far, you get to Hanover, Pennsylvania, which is, I don't know if they're popular all over the place, but it's Utz, UTZ, Utz potato chips. That's where they come from. It's a little early. Like I used to, when I worked downtown in Baltimore, I would be on this highway to get into the city, and you'd see a lot of the Utz delivery trucks coming down. But that's a little bit later in the morning. Utz potato chips. It's another carb. So that exit that we just passed is where I would get on if I was going to. I would be coming from the neighborhood into on that exit right there. And this sign lets us know whether we're going to make it to 695. 6 miles, 6 minutes. That's what I want to see. You know what I noticed too about last night's live stream? So Kendra had about, I think it was normally like in the 20s, maybe high 20s, 30s people. Like, that was the size of the group most of the time when I was in there. And I was in there for most of it. I missed the beginning because I was sleeping. I took a nap between live streams. But she was in the 20 to 30 range, I think, most of the evening. But her chat was very active. It's kind of funny. I think her live chat was actually going, more people were talking in her live chat than like John, who has 150 or more. I mean, he's been in the 150 to and above range recently. But a smaller group seemed to chat in there. I think part of that is a lot of people just sit back and watch, which is cool. I mean, that's what happens. The other thing is there are some people, and I learned this through Janet, who sometimes comes on this stream. She's I call her my sister in life because she was my sister-in-law, but then my brother and she divorced. So I can't really call her my sister-in-law, so I call her my sister in life. But she couldn't chat for a long time. She couldn't chat, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And if you're just a person who has clicked on YouTube just to watch the videos and stuff, and you haven't set up a channel, even if you're not using it for anything, if you don't have a channel, you can't chat. So you could have a lot of people in your... Let me get over it. You could have a lot of people in your viewers in your live stream, but a fair percentage of them may not even have the ability to chat. And then you've got, out of the people who can chat, not everybody really wants to, which is fine. I mean, especially if you're if you're driving, it's hard to, obviously I can't type in there. And there is, the software I use creates a delay between when you type and when I hear it. I think we're kind of working through that. I'm trying to speed that up a little bit. I have some ideas. So that there's not so much of a delay. But anyway, I did notice that last night. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, so she's got, less viewers, but more chatters. And I think part of that is the people who have gone into her have started watching her live stream that have come from John are probably the people that chatted the most in John's. So she's getting a higher concentration of chatters. And she tries to keep, she keeps up with the chat. She reads every single chat, every single message. We're getting a lot of rattling in here. I don't know if you can, I'm sure you can hear that a little bit. The highway rattle. These donuts are getting antsy. Got this car behind me that wants to pass that guy on the left. I'm trying to make room for him. There he goes. He's free. Guy right there. Oh man, we just missed this light. It just turned red, so we're going to be here a while. There's a bag of trash over there in the snow. Do you see that? How embarrassing for Maryland. I'm embarrassed right now. Maybe it's not trash. Maybe it's... No, it's trash. At least it's in a bag. You know, somebody bagged it up. That's a positive thing. Remember years and years ago when they had the campaign to stop people from throwing trash out their car windows? Give a hoot, don't pollute. That was the give a hoot, don't pollute. But people would just like ride along and throw stuff out their car window. It's really kind of crazy when you think about it. This is the most expensive gas station that I pass ever. That Exxon right there. I think it's because they're right by the highway. So they feel like they can just charge like whatever they want because people are probably getting off in a desperate need for gas. But yeah, it's always like 20, 30 cents above, always, no matter what. I don't know why any local person would ever buy gas there. I guess they're not going to want to sponsor my live streams, now that I've said that. I am sponsor free. I'm retaining my freedom. Generators. Advanced selling generators. They were probably busy a week or two ago. Chinese deli. These piles of snow are just, they're pretty impressive. And they're not going anywhere. Today's Wednesday. I gotta ask them if they got a check today. I need some money. Hold these donuts hostage. All right, are we good? Leave it running. See if they're in there. All right, I don't see anybody at the deli. So... There we go. There's somebody back there. Let's do it. Got it. Good morning. How are you doing? It's quiet in here this morning. Guess I'm a little earlier than usual, maybe a few minutes. Surprised that they haven't cleared this snow off the sidewalk. It's like right in front of the restaurant, you know? Cookies, Danish. Today they got one apple fritter and one apple turnover. Which always kind of makes me laugh. Like, I wonder if they have one guy that comes in every day and gets an apple fritter, or one guy that comes in, or gal, comes in and gets an apple turnover. Going back in. We're going back in, ladies and gentlemen. Lottery update. Powerball is 80 million. Mega Millions is 346 million. It's got to be at least 500 million for me to be interested. That sounds so stupid, doesn't it? Just saying it. All right, let me walk over there and see. I got a check. I got a check for the check. Okay, that's right there. We're going back into the kitchen. Back into the kitchen. Good morning. How are you? You know if there's a check?
I think it is.
You think it is? Well, that's good. That would be good. It's feeling pretty nice out there now.
Sir?
I know you're gonna. It feels nice outside. Ah. What happened to that Prius that was out there all the time? Oh. Thank you, sir. Got it. We got it. We're away. I think it's funny that you guys hear all of the stuff that I say to myself. All right. Well, it looks like the gym is fairly well attended this morning. We don't really have to go by there, but I'll just ride by anyway, just for that good. It's pretty good. This isn't bad. I mean, it's not resolution January numbers, but it's pretty good. The place is called Orange Theory Fitness. And it looks more like a... It is very orange in there. Gotta admit that. They've got like orange lighting. Kind of looks like a cafe rather than a gym. Orange Theory. I wonder what that means. What does that mean? There we go. All right, we are headed back to the bakery. Right turn on red. Stop turn. I meant to look that up. Like I don't know whether my brother and I made up that tune when we were little. Yeah, because they came up with a law that you can make a right turn on red. Like I was born before that was legal. And so, I think it was in the 70s. But I have this tune in my head that it kind of goes, right turn on red, stop, turn. There is a reason, stop. And I don't know if that's really a song or whether I made it up when I was like 5 years old. I don't know. But it's stuck. It's stuck in my head. I mean, I remember that I was a fairly creative little fella. I mean, we would make up games all the time. So it's likely, it's possible that I made it up. I did figure out, by the way, there's a Tesla dealership. We passed it a second ago. But then they were building this thing down here. You see that red sign that says Tesla? That's a collision center. A Tesla collision center. Like, first of all, I thought that Teslas were made so that, like, they could drive themselves. Like, why would there be collisions? Right? Okay? So that concerns me. But then yesterday, there was a Tesla that like jetted out in front of John when he was in a turn lane, and the guy like decided, I guess, that he needed to be in that. And I mean, just popped right out of, into John's lane of traffic out of nowhere. Now, I was thinking to myself when I saw that, like, in a Tesla, I would imagine that all kinds of warning signals must have been going off, right? Because they're supposed to be very, very... I have ridden in one, but not like, it was only so that this guy could show me what the acceleration was like, which is insane. I know everybody knows that now, but it is insane. So I didn't have it. I really didn't ride around in any kind of like real life situation for a while. But I thought they were like supposed to be designed so that you wouldn't really run into things. Like, it's got warning signals and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll ride all the way up. I think we'll ride up Reisterstown Road. Instead of getting back on the highway, we'll just go up this road. So the highway that we came down is 795. And then this route is Route 140, which is the old, like, this has been here forever. This takes people from, you could take it all the way into the city, and it goes out to, it actually goes all the way out to Westminster. So we'll just ride this out. This time of day, it's not that bad. Actually, it's never really bad because it's gotten to the point now where more, everybody's on 795. So you really can take this route almost any time, and it's not too bad. This town is called Owings Mills. And the heart of it, well, we just kind of passed through the main business section of it with shops and stuff. But over here on the right is where Owings Mills was. Whatever Owings Mills was, that's where it was. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy was Owings Mills. There's another, we just passed another giant new building called the Maryland Collision Center. Like, I'm starting to think people don't drive very well in Maryland.
Demon-Q7L says down here they must be teaching driver's ed in Teslas.
Oh, yeah? As long as they're still teaching driver's ed, I don't want to go to the self-driving thing. I mean, it's coming. I have my concerns about self-driving. I think that, I don't know how fast it's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen. I don't know how fast. I mean, the people building them, can you imagine the pressure on people that are designing self-driving cars? Because if they, I'm assuming that there has not been an accident involving a self-driving car that has resulted in anyone's death. Is that true? Because I haven't heard about it, although that's probably one of those things they could keep quiet if they needed to, if they wanted to, which they would want to do. But, you know, the whole theory that they're going to be safer than driving, well, first of all, I'm concerned about how annoying they're going to be on the road. I've already heard people talk about, they weren't talking about Teslas, they were talking about, what are they called, Waymo or Way something? The ones that are like taxi services. And it's extremely irritating to drive behind people that are going exactly the speed limit. I know that sounds horrible, but...
Demon-Q7L says, I remember the Jetsons. Maybe it's coming.
The Jetsons. Yeah, we're getting there. Rosie, remember Rosie? She was Rosie the robot. It's coming to life. Rosie the robot. Well, I think about that too when, like, I have a treadmill desk at home, and so most of the time I don't sit at the desk very often. I'm usually walking on a treadmill, and I'm like, that's what they had. Remember, they would like be out walking on a treadmill. All that stuff. It's kind of amazing. A lot of it has come to life. I don't know about flying cars, though. I don't think flying cars are going to happen. I mean, unless they get, I don't know, drones, like great big drones. Even then, you know, you can't mess around with being, once you take people up.
At Mountainman-Q7L says, and their dog too.
Oh yeah, the dog too. Yeah, that's right. I had AJ, the dog I have now, AJ. He was a puppy that I had. There's a whole series of videos on my channel. That's actually what I started using YouTube for. I was like putting the videos of my dogs on there. because they had puppies, and then I wanted to, people to be able to see the puppies and blah, blah, blah. So I had like a camera on them 24/7 when they were born and all that. So people who were going to adopt them could watch them growing up. And I kept little clips, and they're still out there. But AJ's mother, her name was Shelby. She was the best. She was the best. She was the best mom too. It was incredible. But she would come in while I was walking on the treadmill and like stand next to the treadmill and watch me and stuff. And AJ comes in. He doesn't really spend a lot of time in the room. I don't know. He's not a big on the treadmill. Not that he doesn't like it, but there's a dog bed in there, and that's not the one that he uses the most. He's usually other places when I'm on the treadmill. But he'll come in, occasionally. She would come in and stand there, and then if she wanted to get my attention, she'd start like putting a paw on the treadmill, stuff like that. I think I could have trained her to walk on the treadmill. I think she probably could have learned how to walk on the treadmill. But then I would have had to get a second treadmill because she couldn't walk on the same one I'm on. That would be awkward. So I'd have to get another treadmill next to mine so she could walk on it. I didn't do that. I wasn't going to do that. I have to ride outside this road. I think I've said this once on here, but they repaved this roadway not too long ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and then 6 months or 9 months later, they had to do all this work. See that line going up the right side there? Trying to stay off of it, but see it like right in the middle of the road. They had to dig, I don't know I guess it was a pipe or something they had to work on. But it was such a shame because the road was smooth, it was nice. And now it has that awful section. I think we're done with that now. I love the Jetsons, so that was a good show. That was back when you had to wait till Saturday to watch your cartoons. I don't think kids these days could have even imagined that. You couldn't just watch cartoons whenever you wanted. They came on Saturday mornings. Although we had like a station in Baltimore.
Teamman-Q7L says here they paved bumps in the road.
Oh yeah, we had like a speed bump. I don't like speed bumps. We have bumps and humps. The bumps are the little ones that are like sharp, little. They're just supposed to stop you or make you slow down. But then there's the humps, which are like a little bit longer, a little wider. You don't have to slow down quite so much. Yeah, and I see the traffic coming down. This is the same way we came down. So that's the traffic that's going to pick up continuously for the morning rush hour.
Teamman-Q7L says not for speed but in new paving.
Oh, really? This is another section of the road. I usually ride over here on the left. I mean on the right side of this road. Although for a while there was a deer on the side of the road over there, so I couldn't really. It was so close to the road that I didn't want to ride all the way to the edge. That deer was there so long. I named him Curtis. Sad. Poor Curtis. This Camp Federer, which is to the left, right here at this blinking light. If I took a left there, it goes into this you have to pass through this gate that has
Q7L
military
says
people.
I had to get up at 4:30 on say to watch TV because at 6:30 had to go do farm chores.
Ah, you got up at 4:30. That's early. What time did you go to bed? If you get up at 4:30, you'd want to be in bed by, I would think by 10, 9 or 10. Unless you're a napper. I've become a napper.
At Mountainman-Q7L says no TV until after 6 p.m.
No TV until after 6 p.m. I don't really get on TV. I do get on the computer, though. I get on the computer when I get home. I was trying for a while to get off the computer. This was a long time ago. I was trying to get off the computer and or TV, either one, by like an hour or so before I was going to go to bed. That wasn't easy though. Or your phone or anything. Supposedly, like you should break away from that kind of light. That's what they say. I find that very difficult though. Usually computer up until the minute I go to bed. I mean, I really don't have any problem falling asleep at night. I am kind of blessed in that regard.
Q7L says at 8:30. Bedtime. Back then still rotary phones.
8:30. That's the time I usually want to go to bed. I haven't been so good about that for a while. But I've started taking naps. So somewhere in the middle of the afternoon, I usually get a couple hours. In the winter. In the summer, I can't do that. In the summer, I can't, I don't know, because it's nice outside, so I'll go outside, do stuff. What's this truck doing? Here on the left is a roller skating ring. Sportsman Hall. Yeah, remember back before cell phones? I think it's kind of cool. I'm pretty happy with the era that I grew up in and that I'm in now. I mean, I'm old now, but I just think there's so much, man. We saw so much. To go from, I mean, literally, the first phone I remember was the kind that you did. You took it was the little circle and you put your finger in the hole and sounds funny saying this. But you put your finger in the hole for each number and then kind of went around. Bing, bing. That's crazy when you think about it. That was the phone. I mean, we thought we were really cool when we got one of those phones where you push the buttons. And then I thought I was really cool when I got a phone for my car. It wasn't even a cell phone.
Q7L says I'm 76, tired and retired. Naps are important.
Naps are important. I'm moving into the nap stage. It made me think about it. I remember I had a car and I got a cell phone installed in it. You didn't carry the phone around with you. It was a cell phone that was in the car, and had like a little antenna.
Says then we were on a party line.
Oh yeah, party lines. That goes back. I mean, yeah. Well, remember, you didn't have to use the area code. Like a person's phone number when I was growing up was just 7 digits. Might have even been less. You might have even. I don't know when they went to the 7 numbers. I know it was less before that, but you didn't have to dial the area code when I was growing up. I will say this. Here's a fun fact. The 7 digits, like the phone number that I have today, the 7 digits are still the same as the 7 digits when I was born. Like I have had the same base phone number for my entire life. Little fun fact. And the area code only changed because Maryland used to be 301. Like the whole state used to be 301. And then
Ways Double Hazy says quick. What is Jenny's number?
75301. 8675301. Is that right? 8675301. 8675301. Is that right? I hope so. Be embarrassed if it's not. All right, look, the delay on this is...
Ways Double Hazy says the voice will not say that right.
What? The voice won't say what right? You got to tell me. Is that right? 8675301. You're leaving me hanging. I'm trying. I haven't fixed the delay yet, so I'm on pins and needles here. 8675301. The 301 doesn't sound right to me, but maybe it is. That was my instinct. You know, they say go with your first instinct.
Squeeze Double Hazy says it didn't read the number.
Oh, really?
At Gideonet says yes, that's right.
That is right. Oh, okay, good. Whoops. This guy go. Well, that's good. I feel better. For some reason, the 5301, I always question that. I don't know why. I'm surprised that she didn't read the number, because she reads the numbers. I thought about changing it so that she doesn't read the numbers in a person's username, because I think that's an option that I have. I got to play around with that a little bit. See if I can tweak that.
Squeeze Double Hazy says it's 9 instead of 1.
675309. Oh, okay. So I was off one number. It's close. Oh, you know why I probably did that? Because I was thinking, when you asked that question, I was talking about the area code for Maryland. Remember, it used to be 301? Way back when. And some parts of Maryland are still 301, but the main, like Baltimore, all the high population areas have gone to 410. Cell phones were 443. You really can't tell where anybody is by their area code anymore. I mean, sometimes, but nah, it's not a reliable indicator anymore. Well, really, remember, long distance calls used to be more. Like if you were calling someone outside of your immediate area, it costs a lot more money. So at least that went away. Eight 675 309. Yeah, that sounds right.
Squeeze Double Hazy says once long distance didn't need operators, that extra cost was just a scam.
It was, I know. It really was. All right, so now I'm going to leave the van running. I'll leave the stream going, but I'm going to go inside. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't wear the mic in there. So Lord knows what they'll be talking about in there. Do that. Put you up there so you can listen to music. So I just have to go in, write up the invoice for what a day. Probably take me 5 or 10 minutes. 10 minutes maybe. I'll load the van back up with their stuff. So I'll be right back.
At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says Gigionet, does Walmart still have the butterbeer creamer? Gigionet says no, as of yesterday I did not see any. They have a couple cold foams left but no creamers. Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says oh well, it was good while it lasted. Listener 207 says my Walmart still has them. They were actually the center of the aisle. The refrigerator is in the center of the aisle. At Gigionet says I'm sure it was popular. Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says she's back. Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says I tried to time that, didn't work out.
Look, look at this. I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna see if I can find somebody to give that to while we're out on our journey. So I put the check in my pocket so I could take it in there, and then I didn't put it in the drawer. But hey. All right, I'm back. We're ready to roll. Part 2. There we go. Mic is on. The mic is on. Here we go. All right. What a day. Here we go. I'm trying to find. So we have these groundhogs left over from. I'll show you here. I'll show it. See a little groundhog? Look, his little sign is. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I don't want to eat it. I mean, I should, but I should. You know what I mean? I want to give it to somebody, but we'll see if we can find somebody on this journey. It's getting very warm in here. I don't want it to be too warm. Here we go. Here we go. Off to what a day. Today is the 4th. Okay. All right, everybody. Second delivery.
At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says you're going to make someone feel like they're in the Groundhog Day movie, and that is still a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I know. I should walk up to him and be like, hey, happy Groundhog Day. Pretend like it's really 2 days ago. Into 140, I went down Main Street and over 27 to 482. Is that right? Yeah. Just for something different. I'm glad I thought of that, because I have a question about Westminster. Like, there were lights on the trees. It was very impressive. Like, we had a few people on, and I'm like, oh, let's ride through Westminster and look at Westminster, because it only took an extra couple minutes. But as you're driving through downtown on Main Street, they like have the trees all lit up. I thought it looked great. But is that a Christmas thing that is still left over, or is that something that they're doing now all the time? Because I thought it looked pretty cool. Oh, goodness. Got my silly reminder. We got a school bus. We got a school bus coming up here.
At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says they've been lit up since Christmas. Not sure if it's going to stay that way.
It's nice. I mean, it looks really nice when you're riding through. By the way, my plan, I think I figured out how to, or what I might be able to do to reduce the lag between when you type something and I hear it. I don't think it's YouTube. It's not a YouTube issue. And I don't think it is my text to speech. I think it's the broadcast software that I use, the application that does the broadcast. And I have to use that on this phone, because with YouTube, if you're broadcasting using the YouTube broadcasting, if the YouTube app is the way you're broadcasting, it doesn't let you put anything else. You can't have really anything else running on your phone, because as soon as you look at, if you need to make a phone call or something, it stops the live stream or pauses it. So, and I got the music, and I've got, sometimes I have to call. So I think I'm going to figure out a way to use YouTube's application on the phone to broadcast. And if I get to that point, then I think that's going to speed up the delay.
Ways Double Hazy says, do you still have an old phone?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new phone. But yes, the one that I'm using for the video is the S21. 21? Yeah, I think it's 21. I mean, it's a good phone. It was the Ultra, whatever, it was a good phone, and it still is. But I was thinking about getting another phone. Is the 26 out yet? Or what does that happen? Like, I feel like if I'm going to buy a phone, I should.
Orange Ways Double Hazy says, I mean, do you have another old one that could be dedicated to YouTube?
Well, I do. Yeah, like I have two phones with me right now. I have one that is, I use it for the music. So I was thinking about that too. I could swap them. I might do that to test it. But it's a really, like I bought it maybe 3 years ago. It's super cheap. It's a Motorola, super cheap phone. Like, because I never used it as a phone. I just used it. I used to have it at work in the office, and I used it to do. I'd pick up Sirius and listen to Sirius XM at work using that phone. So I just kept it at work.
Orange Ways Double Hazy says, I think the 26 is probably due this month.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait and see when that comes out. But I could test it. I think I just don't know what the quality of the video is on this one. I don't have a magnet like this is attached to the holder with a magnet. I just need to buy I need to buy a cover and a magnet for the other phone. I don't even have a cover for it. Which reminds me, when you don't have a cover on your phone, do you know how slippery phones are? It's ridiculous. Like that phone, when I pick it up, it's like you're picking up, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so slippery. I think they do that on purpose to hope that you drop them or something. Nowadays you've got to buy a cover so that you have something that has a halfway decent grip to it.
Orange Ways Double Hazy says the S5 had a nice grip to it.
It did? The actual phone itself did? This Motorola is like you're holding a piece of, how to describe it. It's like a very slick material.
Orange Ways Double Hazy says yes, it was kind of rubbery.
Yeah, see, that's what it should be. But if I look it up in the quality of the camera is close to this one, I might try that. I might put I try to use that to do the video.
Orange Ways Double Hazy says today they're made from greased pig.
Yeah, I believe it. $27 now. Still feels pretty nice out here compared. if I can peel that. I think maybe I'll peel that Happy Groundhog's Day sign off of it.
Taman-Q7L says the first phone I had was as big as a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, remember those? They used to be like a brick. The first one I ever had was the one that was in the car. Like it was actually attached to the car. And you would pick it up and it would have like a cord to the phone. And you had like a little antenna that stuck up out of the back window or something. I mean, I had to get it installed into the car. That was the first one I ever had. And I thought that...
Ways Double Hazy says they also used to be used for phone calls.
Yeah, phone calls only. You'd have a cell phone, but then if you wanted to... The closest you could get to a text was a BlackBerry. And even those were kind of weird. I don't remember. I had a BlackBerry once. Was it a BlackBerry? Or is that what they were called? Now, BlackBerry was the first one where you were like really texting. But, oh, no. Before the BlackBerry, you had a pager. Remember pagers? Pagers. That's what I'm thinking of. They used to give me a pager when I would drive to New York. Every month when I went up to New York to pick up the computer tapes, I'd get a pager. They were a hassle, though. All that really did was tell you that you should call. Like, do you really get it? It didn't provide any real information, if I remember correctly. All it did was really tell you that you should be calling somebody. God, it's so crazy when you think about it.
Ways Double Hazy says I've heard doctors still use pagers because they don't lose signal as easily.
Oh, that's probably true. But cell phones are pretty reliable now. Look at this heating and air conditioning, like superheroes. Of course, I'm riding in a van that has pictures of people in similar exciting poses. But they've got the superhero capes on up there. You know, you can very easily tell AI. I did this for myself. I was going to put a little logo-y picture in the lower right-hand corner and of my videos. And you can do this. Like, I did it. You basically just tell the AI exactly what you want. Give it a picture of yourself and say, can you make this like a meme of me driving? I think it was like, I wanted it to look like I was driving and you were sitting in the passenger seat and I'm kind of like looking over. I have it. I should probably put it out there just for a joke. I didn't use it. I almost put it on my thing, but then I did actually. You can have like a little, YouTube has the ability to put like a little picture in the lower right hand corner. But I didn't like it when it was there. Like I was like, that's kind of, it didn't have the effect that I wanted. So it was on there for like 20 minutes and I took it off. But that reminds me of it because I wanted it to be kind of cartoonish. I think it made my head too wide.
Burnsway's Double Hazy says you should use it at least once.
Maybe I'll post it. I might try again. I mean, you can ask them, you can tweak it. It'll keep working with you. I'll post it. I'll make a little post of it so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Burnsway's Double Hazy says you can ask it to make your head more narrow.
I could. I was debating whether to do that or realistic. I didn't want it to look like a total cartoon. I wanted it to look like, kind of meme-ish. A meme. A meme type picture. And I think it came through. It did. I've gotten pretty good at, because it is something I think if I was talking to a young person and saying, here's what you need to know about AI, you need to learn how to give it instructions. Once you get that down, you're pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know how to talk to AI, but once you figure that out, like, you just have to give it detailed instructions. And, like you're talking to a small child or somebody that doesn't know anything about the subject.
Burnsway's Double Hazy says I think the young people are supposed to be telling you how to use AI.
Yeah, probably. All right, so maybe it's the older people you got to talk to. But to me, that's the trick. The trick is knowing what to ask for. Because if you're not careful, it does give you bad information. Like, if you ask a general question, you're probably not going to get the answer that you're really looking for.
Burnsway's Double Hazy says it's all in the prompt.
Yeah. And I haven't quite got used to you've got the one, and I use Chat GPT most of the time. And so you've got that prompt now where you can just talk to it. I mean, it's like having a conversation with somebody, which is really weird. But I haven't gotten used to the fact that it doesn't stop. Like, normally you put your instructions in the prompt, it comes back with an answer, and you can work with it. But if you do the one where you're just like going back and forth like a conversation, it's still listening to you. So like, I haven't gotten used to that yet. So it'll come back with an answer, and I'll like just be talking to myself like, well, that doesn't sound right. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, all right, well, let me make an adjustment. Da, 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 da. It's kind of funny. You have to actually stop it from listening. I kind of don't, I'm not thrilled with the fact that it's kind of like when you're talking to it, it's like talking to somebody that is being helpful and at the same time kind of trying to kiss your butt. You know what I mean? Like, it's over the top helpful and complimentary and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't need all that. Like, if it was like, I put myself in the situation where, like, if I was someone's manager and they were my employee and I was working through a project with them and they talk to me the way that AI talks to me, I would have to sit this person down and say, no, 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 no. Don't, you don't stop talking to me like, stop giving me compliments all the way through. Like, oh, that's a really good question. It just goes on and on like that sometimes. Oh, we got a slow car up here, everybody. We got a slow car.
P4. Carlitos says good morning. Do you have the same route every day?
Good morning. Yes. Well, yeah. It's. I have the same delivery. It varies between a few, but it's the same group. So there are like 3 or 4 different places that I go to on a regular basis, but like every day I go to this one a day. I might come at it from a different angle because some days I have a delivery down in Owings Mills, and if I have the donuts and everything that I need for this, I might, if everything's in the van, I might come at it from a different direction. But I'm going to the same locations. It's kind of a big, sometimes it's a big circle, like I'm kind of going around from first, second, and third stop. But like today, the donuts, they were still preparing the donuts for this delivery. So I made the first one and then went back to the bakery, and now we're going here. So the routes might be a little bit different, but we're going to the same places. I try to switch it up sometimes too, just so the view's a little bit different.
P4. Carlitos says got it.
It's not like a DoorDash or a FedEx type of delivery where I'm going to different places. And I don't stop as much either. Like, if you're watching somebody that's doing DoorDash, they're kind of like getting an order, picking it up, going to the house, dropping it off. So there's a lot of stop and go, where this is kind of like on the road more. Not like the long, what's it called? A long haul. The truck drivers that are on the highway. There you're just driving the whole time. I'm kind of in the middle of that. I don't drive all the time. Just make a couple stops, but I don't stop a lot.
Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says heading to school. Have a good day.
All right. Have a good one. Yeah, it's almost 7. I like to get to this place by 7-ish.
34. Carlitos says I do love donuts, but I can't eat them anymore. Healthy reasons.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say this in the van, but they're not the healthiest food. They taste good. I was in a chat last night where people were talking about carbs and the fact that we really don't need carbs, which is, I believe that's probably true. But so they were going back and forth in this chat about carbs, and I was just sort of laying low, and then I decided to chime in and say, well, you know, I drive a van full of carbs every day. I said, am I a bad person? And they came back and they're like, nah, blah, blah, blah. But I did feel a little weird about, I feel like a drug dealer felt like a drug dealer at an NA meeting. That's the way I kind of picture it. Just quietly sitting there. But hey, people are going to eat carbs. You got to make them. You might as well make great. I mean, these are some darn good donuts in this van right now. Cinnamon buns. What else do I have? I have Danish, some mini Danish, some large Danish, cinnamon buns, croissants. The other day, we deliver to a restaurant that does not do early morning, like they do lunch and dinners, and we provide cakes for that. And so I don't normally make those deliveries because usually, like, I'll do this morning stuff and then I'm done. So somebody will just run the cakes over to this other place. But oh my goodness, I saw them. I delivered the cakes, and while I was still carrying some cakes in, they were starting to unbox them. Because basically what they do is they take the cakes, put them in a display, and then people are buying them, like, you know, a slice at a time, usually like dessert for their meal or something. They were looking pretty good. I could go crazy. Like, I have to refrain almost completely, or I lose control. Like, once I start, that's when I get myself in trouble.
24. Carlitos says I was 330 pounds a year ago, and now I'm 240 pounds just for leaving the sweets. It was a
Wow.
hard process.
That's good. No, that's really good. But it is hard. Well, that's like me. Like, I try to, you know, try to keep it under control. But it's very tempting. I'm bad with my.
Dionette says wow. Way to go, Carlitos.
They're gonna come and get me. What do you think? Yeah, that's pretty huge. Now, are you exercising as well? Like, what do you do? Do you have a pretty good exercise routine? I'm going to take this. Hang on, I'm trying to open my groundhog. There he is.
Telasmith9820 says, Good morning, Craig. At Mountainman-Q7L says, You are making me hungry. My problem too. Stopping after 1.
Here we go. I'm trying to take the groundhog sign off of the groundhog. That didn't really come off, but it's sort of.
4. Carlitos says, Not much. Just regular work. I'm a landscape.
Oh, well, that'll give you a lot of exercise. You get exercise just working. I don't know if that works out very well.
Telasmith9820 says, I'm going to work now. See you on John's Live later today.
All right, that sounds good. Have a good day at work. All right, they opened the door, so let me get in there. I'll carry him in there and give it. I'm just going to give him to the people. Here he goes. Say goodbye to the groundhog. Guys, I brought you a groundhog. If you want it, I brought a little groundhog in here. We had a few of them left over. So there's a cupcake in there. All right. Cinnamon bun. All right. Dog bones are stacked. FYI. For anybody that was watching yesterday's episode, you will remember that we had dog bones to deliver yesterday, and they are now on the shelf. All right, guys, have a good day. So the dogs in Eldersburg are happy.
Carlito says thank you, Gideonette. To lose 90 pounds in 1 year, you need have a wife and 2 daughters watching you all the time. Lol. At Mountainman-Q7L says my doctor put you on Ozempic for diabetes. Knocked off 25 pounds. Take meds and eat like I please. Sean White says good morning.
Hey, Sean. Good morning. What you doing? Are you on your way to your regular job? This is Old Village.
Sean White says we have breaking news. At Mountainman-Q7L says good morning Og.
What's the breaking news? We have breaking news? What's that? Did something happen? Is something happening? Did I miss something? Did somebody bring up some breaking news earlier, or are we on pins and needles?
Sean White says no, I am already on the road for my regular job. I can now go live on YouTube mobile. Let's go.
Oh, you can. Well, that's good. So you have a second phone? Because I can't imagine that you could DoorDash with the same phone, because you can't. You got to have a second phone for that, I would think.
Sean White says not yet, the app finally let me ho live.
Ah. I think I'm going to try and...
Sean White says ISM getting second phone Friday.
Yeah, I think I'm making a change. I don't like the delay. I think, thanks to you, I think I figured out that my delay is Prism and not any of, because I have the software for the text to speech, and I thought that might be the issue. I've tried to nail down exactly what causes the delay. I mean, a couple seconds is okay, but 15, 30 seconds is not right. It's too long. And I think it's Prism. It's the broadcasting app. It's not the text to speech. Come on, people. Let me in. Let me in. So it might be, which actually is going to save me some money, I think. If I can get that to work. I think Prism cost me something. A few bucks a month.
Sean White says your Prism has the delay.
It's not expensive, but I ended up paying for whatever the subscription is to Prism because the commercials were driving me nuts. Every time I turn it on, it's trying.
Sean White says on my 2-hour drive to drop off letters to install law.
2-hour drive. That's a long ride. Two hours. I think I could get to Philadelphia in 2 hours. Almost get to the beach. Is it a little warmer up there in Boston? We're 28 degrees now. Feels so good. It sounds insane just saying it, but it does.
Sean White says 17 degree.
Yeah, you're still in the teens. But that feels better than the single digits. Hopefully you have a less stressful day today. I think yesterday you were having.
Sean White says it was 7 degrees last night.
Oof. It's a lucky number though. Lucky number 7.
Sean White says I am in the car.
You're in the car. Do you ever have to go into the city, or do you stay? I think I heard you say once that you stay kind of out in the suburbs. I would imagine Boston can be congested.
Sean White says ya was rough day yesterday. Today will be better out at 230 law.
That's good. Yeah, Wednesdays for me are pretty short. Tuesdays are pretty short, but Wednesdays, like when I'm done with this delivery, I'm done for the day.
Swag owner 1561 says time to get ready to do some door dashing. It's 27 here.
Oh, you're about the same. We're 28.
Sean White says for Dorda I avoid Ordia taking me into the city. Traffic in the city sucks.
Yeah. Does. One of the most crowded subways I was ever on, and it was probably just because I was doing it at rush hour, but it was in Boston. I think I was taking the subway from the airport downtown, and it was insane. It was worse than and I was on the subway in New York, not a lot, but I did it enough. I never had Boston, it was crazy. It was like one of those subways where everybody's in there and you're packed in. It's a nice city, though. I did like the city. I haven't been there for a long time.
Sean White says I am just south of Boston, about 20 minimum. Boston sucks. MBTA is awful. Traffic is awful.
Yeah. I think Boston is the north end of the Acela
Sean
line.
White says if you like history, Boston is great. Other than that, I avoided lol my refuka.
Yeah. Well, you got Cheers. Is that still, do they still have that place? I went there once.
Sean White says my regular job takes me into Boston a lot. Swag owner 1561 says have a good day everyone. At Og Sean White says they closed.
Oh, they did close? All right, Fred. I hope you have a good day. Be safe out there. Oh, so they closed up the Cheers. That's a shame. Was that a victim of COVID? Look at that traffic going the other way. Quite the line of traffic. It moves, though. That is the one good thing about this roadway. It's very heavily traveled, but it moves pretty good.
Sean White says yeah, no one knows your name anymore, and partly cause of COVID.
Yeah, nowadays nobody knows your name. They know your username, but not your name. Although my channel, I have my actual name on my channel. I know that's probably stupid. Like, I wondered whether I should change that. Because I think anybody anybody would probably tell me that that's not a good idea. Especially if I have, you know, if I become more popular, which may or may not happen, but, you know, I don't want to have like 1 million people looking at me. Although, I don't, it's my name, you know?
Sean White says me too lol.
Like, I think most people don't do that.
Sean White says I am changing to Og Sean.
Are you? What happened? I thought you asked a question once about what we're going to be. Something Dasher. Beantown Dasher or something like that. You didn't get a lot of positive response to that. I thought it was good.
At Og Sean says Beantown Dasher.
Yeah, you could change to that.
Sean says you were only response lol.
Was the only response. You get a lot of your shorts, don't you? What's your normal view count on a short? See, that's where people that do a lot of shorts, they do get a lot of views because, you know, you get in those little doom scrolling cycles and people are going to see it. And yours is like the perfect length. You just have like the quick message. People are going to be like drawn into that and they're going to watch the whole thing because it's not that long. I mean, it really is a good way to.
Sean says Beantown Dasher. At Og Sean says you were only response lol. At Og Sean says 500, 1000.
Yeah, that's good. I even get I get like 1,000 people sometimes.
Sean says highest is 4K.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And then that can help, you know, if people look at that and then click on your channel and then subscribe. I think shorts are a way to get more viewers, or at least eyes. Maybe they're not going to view everything that you're doing, but they're going to see something. That's how I got, really, most of my subscribers early on came from my puppy videos from 10 years ago. And they've just been out there. And then one of my puppy videos went crazy. I've got one of my puppy videos has like over 250,000 views. That's what, like, I think that's a guy caught in a loop somewhere. I don't know what happened. But I remember one time, and that was years ago, but I remember one time I looked at it once and I thought, this can't be right. But I think, you know, it hit some sort of recommended cycle where people were seeing it. Like anybody that was looking at a puppy video was getting that put in front of them. Oh, stop it. But it's all up to YouTube. It really, when it boils down to, it's sort of what they put your videos in, who they put them in front of. It's an interesting process. John's got like almost 100,000 on that one video he made about the DoorDash scam. Isn't that the one? I think that's the one. But really, sometimes it feels like the YouTube, whoever's running the algorithm, putting things out there, they're the ones that can make you or break you. I do think live streaming is kind of fun though. You know, like a lot of channels really just do videos or shorts. And I mean, you don't realize when you do that, you can like take as many takes, attempts at it as you want. You know, you can like edit it, add music, do all kinds of crazy stuff, and make it look really good. But when you're live streaming, you're just winging it. You can't, well, you can redo it, but people are going to see whatever happens. I think that's half the fun of it. Kind of go. I had one of my funny experiences from live streaming early on. I was live streaming. It must have been my first or second or third time. It was very early on, and I was chewing gum. And I don't know why. I'm not even really a major gum chewer, but I've done it more working at the bakery because I want to consciously not eat stuff or start eating stuff, you know. So sometimes if I feel the temptation, I'll just chew a piece of gum. But so I was chewing gum and I was driving along, and oh my goodness, I was like, and this was before I had the mic, so it was just the camera sitting on the window. But I thought it was like a cow was in the car. It was crazy. I mean, it probably wasn't really that bad, but to me it was. I was listening to it. I'm like, what a buffoon. So I learned my lesson there. Don't chew gum on camera. Some people might say don't chew gum ever, but I kind of like gum. This guy still has, he's not going to be able to take his Christmas decorations down until the snow melts, probably. Snow is melting off the roofs. That's a good gauge of how warm it's getting. Like if we have a couple of warm days, all that'll melt off. It's going to take a while to melt off of the ground because the top is so thick. It's a crust of ice. It looks like snow, but it's actually a hard crust. Or at least it is in my yard. I would assume it's the same here. Snow has melted off of the hay cylinders. Sun's peeking through those clouds. Odd place to be stopped. Ooh. I wonder if that, did you see that car had a deceased deer in front of it? So I wonder, it's a weird place to be stopped, so I wonder if that car is the one that hit that deer. Actually, that wasn't there when we went by, right? We went over. So that must have just happened recently. That's not a good thing. Oh, there's a baby deer. I mean, baby cow. Baby cow. there was a baby cow back there walking toward something. I'm not sure what that was. I don't think it was a food container, but maybe it was. But I think as it was walking along, its feet were kind of poking through the ice. It was walking very gingerly across the ice. Back to the bakery. Okay. All right, folks. That is the end of our journey for today. Actually, today is Wednesday, so tomorrow I won't be driving tomorrow. I might try to go out and do something in my car. So I might live stream tomorrow, but it wouldn't be for deliveries. It'd just be for fun. And then back on Friday at 5 o'clock, 5:15. So thanks for hanging out. It was fun, good chat along the way, and I hope everybody has a great day. I'll talk to you later.